Good morning and welcome to today's morning mobility session. This is going to be 20 to 30 minutes per usual of gentle movement designed to get your body feeling mobilized, warmed up, ready to either tackle a workout or just tackle your day. Today is kind of a special session. It's going to be a chair-based session. Most of it is going to be seated. One circuit will be standing. So get a folding chair, a dining chair, something to sit on so that you can do this session with me. If you're not looking for a chair session, you could always go back and do one of the other mobility sessions. But today we're going to start seated in the chair. For most of these movements, try to maintain an upright torso, really strong posture position. And our first exercise is going to be alternating single leg straightening. So seated, again, nice and tall. We're just going to extend one leg straight and then the other leg out straight. If that's a little bit too intense, you can keep your heel a little lower to the ground as you extend your knee. If you can, keep your legs even as you straighten one side. That's amazing. But if you need to keep your foot lower, that's totally okay. We're engaging the quad to extend the knee, which stretches the hamstring a little bit. Just take your time. One last option, if even that was a little intense, you could just do alternating knee lifts, but give the straightening a try, feeling a little bit of that quad engagement to get us started. We've got one more on each side. And rest. Good. I'm just going to turn to face you, but you can keep facing your same direction for this second one. We're going to do neck mobility, looking in each direction, up, down, and side to side. So first we're going to start with looking up, and then looking down, tucking the chin. And then we're going to look to the right and over the shoulder and left over the shoulder. Then up, lift the chin, down, tuck the chin, over the right shoulder, over the left shoulder. And we're not going too fast with this one. We're giving time for those neck muscles to engage. We're really thinking about stretching as you get to the end range of motion of each movement. Looking up, tucking the chin, looking over one shoulder and the other. We'll do one more time with each. Tuck the chin, right shoulder, and left shoulder. Very good. And then our third exercise is going to be a shoulder mobility, a field goal rotation press. Also show you this one from the side. I'm starting with my arms out at my sides with elbows at a 90-degree angle. Then I'm going to rotate up like a field goal, straighten the arms overhead, back to the field goal, and then rotate them down. Rotate up, straighten, back to field goal, and rotate down. Rotate, very robotic type of motions, straighten, back to field goal, rotate down. 90 degrees at the elbows, as straight overhead as you can, back to 90, rotate down. Rotate, try to have your arms even with your ears as you straighten, back to 90, rotate down. One more time, rotate, straighten, field goal, and down. Very good. Alrighty, that was our first time through the circuit. Per usual, we'll do each circuit 2 times. So we'll get ready for that alternating leg straightening. Again, nice tall torso position. Imagine you have a string just pulling your head towards the ceiling. And then when you're ready, alternate, extending one leg and then the other. One side, Not too fast, and back down. Just whatever height you can maintain. If that's legs even, that's great. If it's heel a little bit lower, but extending the knee, that's okay too. This is great for warming up all those muscles that help protect and stabilize the knees. Stay tall, also a tiny bit of core work while we're engaging that hip flexor and quad in this position. One more each side. And last one. Rest. Perfect. Maybe then you can stay in that position if you like, and we'll go into our neck mobility. First one, looking up, tucking the chin as you look down, right shoulder and left shoulder. Letting your eyes follow the movement, taking your time as you get maybe a little bit extra stretch this second time through. Up, chin tuck, right shoulder, left shoulder. 2 more times with everything. Up, down, right, left. Last time for each. Up, down, right, and left. Perfect. And then back to our field goal rotation press, starting with the arms out, elbows even with the shoulders, 90 degrees. And we'll do that, rotate, straighten arms by ears, back to field goal, rotate down. Maybe this time focusing just a little bit extra on the back of your shoulder, kind of right in that rotator cuff where we're doing that rotation. See if you can think about engaging that area, keeping a really active shoulder joint. If we think about creating tension, we can sometimes get a little bit extra engagement there. So challenge yourself this second round to try that. We'll do 2 more times. Rotate arms by ears or as close as you can get. Rotate, rotate, straighten, and back down. Very nice. Alrighty, for our second circuit, we're going to be standing. And for our first one, we're going to be doing some leg abductions, so moving the leg away from the body. You're holding on to that chair for a little bit of balance. I'm going to start with one foot slightly behind the other, and then I'm going to lift it out and up to the side with control as high as I comfortably can. So it's not a swing, it's a lift, tap behind, lift, tap behind, lift, balancing on your other leg, but holding on, tap, one more, lift, and tap. Very good. Then we'll do the other side, holding on, one foot slightly behind the other, lift, and tap, resisting the urge to use momentum to do this movement, and just raising that leg as high as you comfortably can to the side. It really does engage that outer hip, maybe even hip flexor. So just listen to your body with how high you can comfortably raise, noting that it might be different one side to the other. Lift, tap, one more time, lift, and tap. Very good. Alrighty, for our second one, we're going to stand to the side of the chair in a split stance position. And I'm going to have one hand behind my head. So if I'm standing to the right of my chair, I have my right hand on the chair, right foot back, left hand behind my head. And I'm going to rotate towards the chair and then away. Towards the chair and away. you don't like this position or it doesn't feel good to have 1 foot back, 1 foot forward, you could do this just standing as you are. But if it feels okay, be in that split stance position, rotating out and in 2 more times, out and towards the chair. Last one, out and rest. Good. And then we'll stand with our left hand on the chair. That means left foot back, right foot forward, right hand behind the head, rotate towards the chair and away. Again, staying nice and tall, controlling that rotation, not swinging, but deliberately turning your body. Rotate in and out, letting your eyes just follow that same path of movement. We'll do 2 more times, in and out, in and out. Very nice. And moving on to our third one, which is going to be for ankle mobility. We're going to do a simple calf raise, holding on to your chair for balance in front of you, feet just hip distance apart or a few inches. And then you're going to raise up and lower back down, lifting the heels as high off the ground as you can, engaging the calf, coming back down. If you can, try not to death grip your balance support with that chair. See if you can even float or just lightly rest your fingertips. That's totally optional. Lift and lower. And try to keep that movement somewhat controlled as you lower down versus kind of just plopping down to the ground. We'll do 2 more. Lift and lower. Last one. Lift and lower. Very nice. Alrighty, we're in position to go back to our first exercise, which is that leg abduction. So give you a second just to take a breath here with 1 foot tapped slightly behind the other. And then when you're ready, raise straight out to the side as high as is comfortable, and then tap that toe behind you. Lift, tap, lift, and tap. Maybe timing your exhale with the lifting of the leg. Exhale, inhale, exhale, 1 more time, lift, and tap. Very good. And then we'll go on to the second side, starting with that foot behind you. Stand nice and tall if you find that you tend to kind of lean over a little bit. Lift and tap. Maybe you feel like you're able to get a little bit of extra range of motion this second time through. Maybe it's the same as the first time. That's totally okay. Maybe one side feels a little bit more challenging than the other. Just listening to the body and raising when you feel like you get to that point where you might add a little extra momentum to get extra lift. Last one. And rest. Very good. Then we'll turn to that position on the side of the chair for our rotations. If the chair is on my right side, right foot is backward, 1 hand behind my head, and I'm going to rotate towards the chair and away from the chair. Keeping that elbow nice and open, not tucking it in. Rotating, really smooth movement. Rotating in and out. In and out. We'll go for 1 more time on this side. In and out. Very good. Then turn yourself around, left hand on the chair, left foot backward, right hand behind your head, and rotate in and out. For this one, maybe timing your exhale with rotating out, in, exhale, in, and exhale. Keeping just a nice consistent speed of movement, not too quick, not too slow. And we've got one more for this side, in and out. Wonderful. Alrighty, and then our third one, returning to that calf raise. Fingertips just lightly resting on the back of your chair. Toes just a couple inches apart. And then on your own speed, raise and lower down. Lifting up, squeezing the calf and lowering back down. Raise and lower. Lift and back down. Again, try not to let the heels plop down to the ground, but lowering them with control. For 2 more times. Lift, lower, last one, lift, and lower. Very nice. All right, good news is you get a return to sitting on your chair for our last circuit. Our first one is going to be a really nice hip mobility exercise. We're going to be in a chair seated sumo stance, which just means your feet are wide and your toes are turned slightly outward. We're going to think about keeping your back and spine really straight, hands in front of you, and I'm going to reach forward and come back up. I'm reaching forward as far as is comfortable and as far as I feel like I can stay straight with my torso, not rounding the back. Reaching and back to the top. Nice slow control speed reach. Back to the top. 2 more times. Reach and up tall. Last one. Reach and rest. Very good. Then our second one is going to be a shoulder shrug movement. So we're going to bring the shoulders up towards the ears, losing your neck as much as you can, and then bring the shoulders down as far as you can. Shrug and pull the shoulders down. You can have your hands at your sides if you want, or resting on your legs. If you have your hands at your side, you can think about raising your fingertips up and then reaching your fingertips down at the bottom. 2 more times, shrug and reach. Last one, shrug and reach. Good. You can stay where you are, but I'll face you. For this last one is going to be alternating overhead reaches, starting with hands with your thumbs just right in front of your shoulders. You're going to reach up and slightly over, back down, up and slightly over, back down. One side elongating at that rib cage, other side and down. Reach and lower, reach. Good, making sure to breathe. Reaching mostly up and just a little bit over. Not going for as much of a side bend as we are a side lengthening in this one. Last reach. And rest. Perfect. Alrighty, we have one more round of these 3 exercises and then you'll be done with your mobility session. So we're back to that sumo seated stance. Maybe seeing if you're comfortable moving your feet a little bit wider, toes pointing outward this time. Hands reaching towards the ground Keep the back straight as you lean forward. And back to the start. Forward, back to the start. And your sumo position really depends on your hip mobility. If you need to have your feet a little bit closer, that's okay. If you feel a little bit of nice stretch with your feet wider, that's also okay. And even though this is kind of a rocking movement, make sure to maintain control and keep that core strong to help pull back up. Reach and back one more time. Reach and back. Very good. And then just returning to a comfortable seated position for our shoulder shrugs. Nice and tall. Shrug the shoulders up. And then really long neck. Going for a bit of a stretch on the top of that trap as you reach the fingertips towards the floor. This is one where exaggerating it as much as you can helps you get that extra centimeter of distance. Really lets us practice moving the shoulder blades around, which is what we're doing for this one. Squeeze and pull one more time. Squeeze and pull. Very good. And feel free to stay facing whatever direction you are for our last one, starting with thumbs in front of shoulders for the alternating overhead reach. Going at your own pace, one side and then the other. Getting that stretch on the side of the ribs, back down, reach and reach. Good. Thinking lengthening more than bending. Reaching. Nice, comfortable, controlled speed for our last one of the day. One and last one here. And rest. Very nice. Well, I hope you enjoyed this chair session today. If you enjoy doing some chair focused mobility, let me know in the comments so I know to repeat it a little bit more frequently, or we'll keep it about a few times after every month. But if you want more information from HelloStrengthSeniors, you can find us over on Instagram, and we will see you next week for more morning mobility.